So we brought Andy McCarthy in, former assistant U.S. attorney, Fox News contributor. Andy, it's been a minute. Nice to have you back with us. The assistant AG, thank you, Harmeet Dillon, said this: I've instructed our criminal prosecutors in the DOJ Civil Rights Division to open a civil rights investigation into this violent attack. I realize it's early, 12 hours, but what questions do you have about pursuing that?
Well, I think it's very curious, Bill, that we don't know the name of the person yet, even though there seems to be some background investigation of other potential, at least surveilling of Jewish targets. So to me, that's curious. I always think with these hate crimes situation, the thing is that you want to take care of the crime first. Usually the hate piece of it will take care of itself. As a prosecutor, you want to make sure, obviously it looks like it's easy enough to prove that there were acts of violent assault here, even though thankfully nobody got hurt. But you have to, of course, prove the other piece, which is the state of mind of the person you're dealing with.
Interesting. We don't know the name, but eventually that dribbles out. We'll see whether or not we get that this morning or a bit later today. Andy, there's a new operation at the federal level to root out fraud in America. I'll read you two things. First is the Truth Social post by the president. I'm pleased to nominate Colin McDonald to serve as the first ever assistant AG for National Fraud Enforcement, a new division of the Department of Justice, which I created to catch and stop fraudsters that have been stealing from the American people. Together, we will end the fraud and restore integrity to our federal programs. Before I get you to answer that, Andy, this is the claim right now from the GAO. We estimate that the federal government could lose between $233 billion and $521 billion annually to fraud. What do you think of the gentleman who was appointed, Mr. McDonald, and is it a good idea?
Well, I think the guy that they appointed, Bill, seems to be very qualified, and if it's a legal position, he should be able to be confirmed. My question would be whether it's a legal position. The executive branch can't just create assistant attorney general slots. They're actually creatures of legislation. Congress has created a number of them. I think there are 11 in federal law now. So if the president has already filled those 11, he's got a problem in terms of rejiggering the org chart as Congress has made it for the DOJ. So there's that problem. There already are very good fraud. I'm sorry?
Yeah, he could do that.
I don't know if he can or he can't, because with respect to a lot of these positions, Congress has prescribed the work the AAG is supposed to do. So you have an antitrust division, a national security division, criminal division, civil division. You can't, Congress has created these positions. So I know the president likes to think that he can kind of wave a wand and create things, but that's not always how it works in the government. And the other problem you have is we already have fraud units in the criminal division and the civil division that have done much of the work that the Justice Department is touting, particularly in Minnesota. If we have a significant fraud problem in the country, which we undoubtedly do, it's not because of the Justice Department.
Okay, if you could claw back $500 billion, I think it would be massively popular. Andy, good to see you again. Thanks for coming back, okay? We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.